I'll be guiding you for a fascinating journey into the world of neurosurgery and the brain, drawing upon this book, Grey Matters by Theodore H. Schwartz, which has helped me better understand this profession with anecdotes, explained in a very live way despite the gravity of the topics. The author immediately uses one to explain how neurosurgery is a profession in constant evolution, constantly improving itself since its inception, with R.V. Cushing, the founding father of modern neurosurgery, founded in the late 19th century and early 20th century. Therefore, someone could say that this field is extremely young. Yet, in the last 100 years, its evolution has been exponential. We now have images from MRI scans and CAT scans, which have helped neurosurgeons improve and refine their procedures, making them as minimally invasive as possible. Nowadays, craniotomies are rarely done, and brain trepanation is only used for intracranial pressure, such as the ones that are caused by an head-on collision. The first chapter, Beginnings, explain what it truly means to be a neurosurgeon. But above all, for anecdotes like those of Abraham Lincoln, JFK and Malala Yousafzai, the book explained the different methods of neurosurgery and how the operating room has evolved over time, from Lincoln's case to Malala's case. It shows how we arrived at a modern operating room like this one that uses an electric microscope with maximum resolution, and instruments like this, an endoscope and a bipolar stimulator, from an operating room like this one, with doctors wearing garments like this and natural light. This was the case of R.V. Cushing's times. This was R.V. Cushing's anatomical theater, where he performed neurosurgeries and shows his student how tumor removal was carried out. The third chapter, Who's in Charge, the author focuses on a particularly sad aspect of neurosurgery, namely psychosurgery. Now it ruins 60,000 lives just in the United States. We are mainly talking about frontal leucotomy, better known as lobotomy. For many years, lobotomies were performed not by neurosurgeons, but by psychotherapists, psychiatrists like Friedman, who is now considered a madman, a mad scientist, but at the time was considered a pioneer, a luminary. Lobotomies were believed to cure mentally ill people, making them more docile, but at the same time, the complete removal of their personality was ignored. One of the first cases described in the book is the one of JFK's younger sister, Rosemary, who went through a lobotomy without her consent and without anesthesia. Her story was kept hidden by her family for a long time, and this is just one of the tragic stories that shocked the Western world for a long time after lobotomies. The chapter that struck me deeply was the second one, How do Brain Surgeons Think?, where the author explains tumors, aneurysms, but most importantly, the close bond between the patient and the neurosurgeon, between the one who entrusts and the one who becomes trustworthy. In fact, the phrase that struck me the most in this book, which I'm going to read to you now, is, if you want people to depend on you, you have to be dependable. The author says this in the first chapter, but is explained more fruitfully throughout the second chapter, which focuses on the human side that most of the time is forgotten of neurosurgeons, who spend their life dedicating themselves to the health of their patients.